Okay, I'm here to blog on autism and human rights. This will be a multi-part blog. You'll see more of this in the future. For having autism, we have to fight for our human rights, and um, the current provincial government of Nova Scotia says that it's not a right to have a house, and it is a right under the basic human rights of United Nations. It says shelter and shelter, which means a home, an apartment, a log cabin you built, a shack that you built, a hut that you built, um, uh, whatever kind of shelter you made, or a wigwam you made, or a teepee, or whatever you want to call it. You have the right to that. And you have the right to security, meaning to feel safe, and you have the right to clothing. You have the right not to wear clothing, but mind you, if you don't wear clothes, people may not feel comfortable being around you because, um, some people have different comfort levels and they probably don't want to see you naked. So, yeah. So, if I were you, were a suggestion, wear clothes. And another human right is food and water are basic human rights. And the right to a phone call and a tablet, but you can argue it both ways. If you use a tablet for games, then that's a privilege, but if you use it to communicate with people, then it is a right to have a tablet, because some of my friends use a tablet um, so, because they're nonverbal, so if you're nonverbal, then a tablet is a right to own. Um, and the other, and there's a right to dignity, and this was all placed in 1945, and then the disabilities human rights was put in 1970, where they outlawed lobotomies, and then it was updated in 1982 for Canada for the Canadian Charter Rights and Freedom Act, Canada Act of 1982, and and the United Nations updated it in 1982, and then it was updated in 1995, and then recently it was updated in 2017, where they added, we have the right to live, you have the right to a life, that's a human right, and you have the right to uh, for dignity. But having a disability, a lot of times governments try to throw us underneath a rug and say we don't have rights. And a lot of times governments discriminate against us. Like, a lot of times. And it really gets kind of frustrating when that happens. I'm just trying to say what human rights you have. Um, yeah, I have autism and a visual disability, but I still have human rights. And governments try to do that. Like the provincial government's doing that, not the federal. Federal government doesn't do that because if they did that, the United Nations would see it, and yeah. But I think that the Premier of Nova Scotia should um, be in a United Nations court and have charges against be charged with violating human rights, because a home is a basic human right. That's one of your basic human rights, to have a home. Doesn't matter how big it is or how small it is. Shelter from the elements and storms and the cold. So yeah, um, I'm just trying to say that we have basic human rights. Well, I just wanted to tell you the human rights and the frustration. This will be a multiple part of human rights. That's the end of my blog. You are loved and cared about by someone, and if you want to do Zoom with a friend, just send them an email and today. You are loved and cared about by someone. Someone out there loves you and cares about you.